This is Forgotten Isles SMP, and these are its members. And this is me. I became the most powerful on the server illegally. Kind of. But first, what is this SMP? This is a lore-heavy server where each player chooses a god to worship. Iona, Phethos, Etar, and Cronera. As soon as I joined the server, I had one goal in mind: gain power. And I didn't care how. The first thing I needed was a base of operations, and I couldn't risk my base being found because it might get robbed or even blown up. I trusted no one. I traveled very, very far away and found an island in the middle of the ocean with a house and decided to live there. There was a villager selling a special flint and steel that lit up a portal nearby. What? Then I was informed that going to other dimensions is banned, meaning I couldn't go to any of the dimensions, including the Nether. Good news is, the dimensions open on Saturday. This means I have 2 days to prepare for Netherite. The first thing I needed to do was get an enchantment magic table. I needed books. First I needed leather, but that was very difficult to obtain as, since I live on an island in the middle of nowhere. I needed to go find land in the vast sea of blue water. Did I say that right? I had 2 days left to pull this off, and because of scheduling, I technically only had 6 hours. The clock was ticking. I thought that fishing might get me leather faster. Yeah, because fishing gets leather faster. Nice one, Thunder. As I was fishing, I started getting pushed around by an invisible entity. It seemed like they wanted me to go a certain direction. What the fuck? Oh, right. This was a lore server. So apparently these shadows came to tell me to join the dark side. I told them I would join with one condition: I get leather. So they just spawned hundreds of cows. Literally. Oh, and I also got this. Well, that fixed my leather problem. But at what cost? I'll deal with that later. Since we now have our magic table, we need XP. But I have no other way to get XP. So I got on my boat to find some land to kill some mobs. Yeah, I needed XP that bad. Of my character. And because the soul... What is that? What is this structure? Ow! Is that a skeleton spawner? I guess today is my lucky day. After 2 hours, I finally finished it and now I can grind XP. But we're in a bit of trouble, as I now have an hour left to get max diamond gear. The chance of me pulling this off is less than 0.1%. The only way I can complete this is by increasing the timer and pulling an all-nighter. So that's what I did. Today is known as Judgment Day, where all the gods announce their followers. Alright, so we ran into a problem. It is now Saturday, but I am late to the opening. I don't have my armor. I don't have anything. Everything's back at home, but then again, I don't need to. I was late, and I didn't know who my god was. I'm sure it won't be that important. Now that the Nether is open, I could finally get some netherite. I now have enough for my armor and tools. Now I was sure I had the best gear in the game.
Sharpkin, Fire Aspect 5, Smite 5, Bane of Arthropods 5, Breaking 5, Looting 5, Mending 2, Whipping Edge 5, Piercing Vanishing. I actually have my teammates grinded. My teammates do like the farming and all that. I do, well, the gathering of like powerful items.
So basically you have a whole team behind you to grind out.
And I basically carry them.
Fucking hell. There was no way. How? I asked him what his armor enchants were, and
can't fucking compete! I just can't fucking compete!
Apparently, he made a deal with the gods. He traded them nether stars for the armor. So during the time I got my netherite armor, he got netherite armor and defeated the wither multiple times, while I only had one wither skull. He also had his teammates get other resources such as iron and diamonds. It appears that I failed. I couldn't gain power. I was outmatched by someone who had a team behind him, and I was alone, grinding by myself in the middle of nowhere. I was so obsessed with becoming the best that I forgot that it requires a team. I got lost in the obsession that I almost lost myself. I trusted no one for fear of being robbed or betrayed, and I made no friends because of it. No one to fall back on. I lost all hope and was about to give up until there was a new king being announced very soon. This was my last hope of completing my goal. All I needed to do was kill the king. After hearing this news, I instantly went to my base to prepare. There were still a few days left until the king shows himself, so I decided to follow him in his footsteps. See, as mentioned earlier, the gods have chosen their followers when the portals opened, and I was kinda late to it, so I had no idea which one was assigned to me. So after asking around for a bit, I found out who it was. Cronera, the god of revenge. The first thing I needed to do was go into Cronera's dimension, but all my stuff is useless. I need to grind things in here to even survive. So after getting some gear, I found Cronera's temple. Now, all that was left is to wait for Cronera to show up. While waiting for Cronera to show up, I saw something interesting going on in chat. The prince was here, which could only mean one thing: the king is coming. So I got my gear and headed there as fast as possible.
These pitiful chairs.
Oh.
And these doors.
Those are the deity's realms. I would be very careful.
Honestly, there was no useful information other than the king is coming. Cronera logged on an hour later, and I finally had a chat with her. I wish to create a very powerful sword and chestplate. This means I can get all my gear overpowered, and all I have to do is fight a couple of withers. This can't be too hard, can it? Alright, well, I got my boots upgraded and my sword. This is gonna be fun. And now it was time to reveal the king. There can only be one.
Thunder!
I'm sorry, Arista. I have no armor.
Well, okay, I am not on that side. Thunder!
Oh, he has thorns. Ow. Yep, he has thorns.
Hold on, let me. Hey, wait, I'm not doing anything! Come on, man!
And that's a wrap.